In this video, we're going to look at GT Capital, the conglomerate whose stock is on sale with approximately 40% discount. The company has a market capitalization of 107 billion pesos and was established on July 26, 2007. We will examine what GT Capital actually owns, its three major strategies for improving efficiency and profitability, its revenue and net income from 2021 to 2025, its dividend performance, the three risks investors should watch, and finally, I'll give you my own take on the stock. GT Capital Holdings is the listed holding company associated with the T Group. And the easiest way to understand GT Cap is to think of it as a portfolio of major Philippine businesses rather than a single operating company. Its major investment include Metrobank in banking, Toyota-related businesses in automotive and mobility, Federal Land in property, Metro Pacific Investment in infrastructure, AXA Philippines in insurance, and businesses involved in motorcycle financing and other financial services. GT Capital has been pushing the use of digital tools, data science, and artificial intelligence across its ecosystem. In February 2025, GT Capital held a data science and AI roundtable focused on applications across finance, mobility, real estate, and healthcare. The goal is not simply to use AI because it's fashionable. The real objective is better decision making, better risk management, and greater operational efficiency. GT Capital's strategy has historically emphasized expanding the value chain in businesses where it already has strong positions, creating synergies between component companies, and selectively entering new growth areas. And this is where the conglomerate structure becomes interesting. For example, Toyota is not simply selling cars. There is an ecosystem around automotive sales, financing, leasing, mobility, and related services. Metrobank creates another financial ecosystem. Infrastructure investments provide exposure to utilities, toll roads, water, energy, and other essential services. The objective is not only to own more companies, it is to build a portfolio where the strongest businesses generate cash and growth. The third strategy I would watch closely is the transformation of GT Capital's property platform. Federal Land has been shifting toward horizontal developments and large-scale township opportunities. One example is River Park in General Trias, Cavite, developed through Federal Land and Federal Land NRE Global, its joint venture with Japan's Nomura Real Estate Development. River Park North achieved 100% sell-out of its commercial lots in May 2025. And in March 2026, GT Capital acquired an additional 20% stake in Federal Land NRE Global. That's important because it gives GT Capital greater economic participation in a platform that is being positioned around residential, commercial, and township development. For investors, that could become an important source of future growth. Now let's get to the numbers, and this is where the GT Capital story becomes much more interesting. From 2021 to 2025, revenue almost doubled. That's roughly a 99% increase, but net income increased from 11 billion pesos to 33 billion pesos. That's more than 3 times the 2021 level. And this is the part I find particularly exciting. Profit has grown much faster than revenue. That tells us something. The story is not merely that GT Capital is selling more. It's that the profitability of the overall portfolio has improved substantially. In 2025, consolidated revenue grew 8%, but net income increased 17%. GT Capital pointed to stronger automotive operations and higher equity earnings from associates and other ventures. The core income increased from 28 billion pesos to 30 billion pesos. So there's a distinction investors should make. Net income was very strong, but the underlying core business also improved. That is much better than a profit increase driven entirely by one-time gain. GT Capital's revenue growth from 2021 to 2025 looks impressive. But remember, revenue is not the best metric for a holding company. Why? Because GT Capital owns significant interests in businesses such as Metrobank and MPIC, and some of the group's earnings come through equity accounted investments. That's why I would pay particular attention to core net income, equity earnings, cash dividends received from subsidiaries and associates, return on equity, and book value growth. For GT Capital, you're buying a portfolio of assets, and that portfolio has been growing. The total assets increased from about 397 billion pesos in 2021 to 519 billion pesos in 2025. Now let's talk about one of the reasons income investors may find GT Cap interesting. The company's common share dividend history has changed significantly. In 2022, GT Cap paid 3 pesos per share. In 2023, it was again paying 3 pesos per share. Then in 2024, shareholders receive 5 pesos regular and special combined in the first payout plus another 3 pesos later, bringing the annual amount to approximately 8 pesos per share. Looking at dividend yields gives us another interesting picture. Based on historical dividend ex-date data, the company's dividend yield in 2024 is approximately 2%, in 2025 approximately 2.8%, and 2026 is 1.9%. That is not a high yield stock based on a regular dividends alone. The attraction is the combination of earnings growth plus book value growth plus potential dividend growth plus occasional special dividends that makes GTCAP more of a total return conglomerate than a pure dividend stock. Now let's talk about risks. GTCAP is heavily exposed to the Philippine economy. Banking, automotive sales, property, and infrastructure are all affected by economic conditions. If GT Capital invests aggressively in low return projects, acquisitions, or expansions, book value may increase without generating proportional growth in earnings. So investors should watch acquisitions, capital expenditures, leverage, dividends received, and return on equity. The third and last risk, GTCAP's business operation is heavily regulated. GT Capital itself has highlighted risks involving cybersecurity, regulation, macroeconomic conditions, and manpower across its ecosystem. So after everything we've discussed, what do you think about GTCAP? My view is constructive but price matters. I like the company for three reasons. First, the underlying portfolio is high quality. You're getting exposure to some of the country's strongest businesses and brands. Second, the earnings trend is compelling. From 2021 to 2025, revenue nearly doubled, while net income attributable to shareholders more than tripled. And third, the balance sheet has expanded substantially, with equity attributable to shareholders rising to almost 299 billion pesos by the end of 2025. And I certainly would not buy it simply because the 2026 dividend look large. Instead, I would ask, what am I paying for the underlying assets? What is the price to book valuation? What earnings growth am I getting for that valuation? And most importantly, can management continue generating attractive returns as the company becomes larger? So let's wrap it up. GT Capital has transformed from a company earning around 11 billion pesos in 2021 to one earning almost 34 billion pesos in 2025. Revenue has nearly doubled, the asset base has expanded. If you found this analysis useful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. And tell me in the comments at what price would you be willing to buy GT Cap. I'll see you in the next stock analysis.